The last thing I want to show you, oh sorry, excuse me, the second last thing I want to show you is just a couple of little extra things that are going to be useful. Say for instance, we don't want to draw a frame to place an image, but we still don't want to embed the image. Another way to do that is, as opposed to just drawing it, you can just place it, go Command D, and then locate the file that you want to place. In this case, the polka dot logo. And what will happen is that the cursor will be loaded with that image, and if I click anywhere where I want to put it, there it is, and it's going to still be linked. There it is in my links panel, but I didn't have to draw the frame. Now sometimes that's useful because you don't know what size you really want it, or you don't know the shape of the image. I like to first draw a frame. That's just the system that works comfortably with me, because for instance I always know that, for instance, my frame is going to be a bleed or not a bleed. I'm going to have maybe some columns and some areas of to place my images. You know, but when we're just doing like an ad, like free-for-all ad like this, you don't necessarily have to draw ahead of time, but it's just a good habit to get into. So you can also just file, place, and locate a file. And you can double click on it and it will just, oh, I was clicked in my frame. So now, yeah. I'll just do that again. I accidentally clicked in my frame. Oh, it's still my, I'm just going to try that again. So I want to unclick with the frame, because if I click on the frame now and go place, it's going to change that image within that frame. Yeah, so I'm going to undo that, Control Z. I'm going to make sure, oh yeah, the cursor's loaded now with that image because it's asking, I double clicked it, it's wondering what to do. I'm just going to press escape to get rid of it. So unclick on everything, just have a, you know, your cursor or your, make sure you haven't selected anything. If you just go File, Place, and I locate an image, now it's going to, yeah, I see that again, that little ghost of an image, and wherever I click on the artboard, it's going to place that image. It's going to place it at the size that it actually is. So, for instance, it's if you need an image that spans the entire length of the ad, you're going to have to now. I'm just going to delete that one. I'm going to align this with the bleed, and I'm still going to have to resize this frame to the width that I need it. Control Z, or I can go Shift Command and drag one of the corners. Oops, Shift Command Option. And this is a little bit finicky too. Yeah, see there, it's Shift Command, and you just kind of have to hold it for a second, and then it will resize it proportionally, the image within the frame and the frame itself. So you maybe want it like that. So again, I press Command Shift, and on the PC it's Control Shift, and just kind of hold it for a second and drag one of the corners, and it's going to resize that image within the frame at exactly the same time, proportionately too. Now we're looking at just the entire artboard here. If I want to see what the actual image, or sorry, without the bleeds and whatnot, I'm going to press W, and if I uncheck, then I can see, and press Tab to get rid of all my windows. That's what the ad's going to look like right now. W to go back to the artboard, Tab to get back all my tools. I also have the ability to look at normal, preview. I can look at my bleeds. So that's my preview with my bleeds. So normal again, you can just toggle between normal and preview with the W button. Now, for instance, if I want now, I've put this full bleed image on top of all my text. If I want to now change the layering, I can do it two ways. I can go into my layers, and I can click on next to the layer here, and I can see that this image is highlighted, that little square is highlighted, so I know that's what I'm clicked on. So I can just change the order of it there. Oh, do it gently, and then I can see the order. Control Z to go back, or I can go right click, and I can go Arrange, Send to Back, and that will essentially do the same thing. And you can see that the layer order has changed again. So I can do that two ways. So I can either, if you don't have more than one layer, you can click on whatever layer that it's on, this drop down here, change the layer order by slowly moving it, or I can go right click, arrange, send to back, or like I said, InDesign allows you to do it 3 different ways. I can also go object, arrange, send to back, and that will essentially do all the same thing.